Hello, I'm Paul and you are welcome to another small scene. If you saw my previous videos, I made some videos on I talked about my car system, my Fowler car system. I gave some highlights. In the meanwhile, I got myself a starter kit from Fowler. I have it right beside me. And sorry about the lightning. And on this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I made the tracks, how I designed it, and I made the groove for the wire. In the meanwhile, since I have the kit that was supposed to, the start set that was supposed to arrive, I was only expecting it from probably next week, the end of the other week. Came earlier, thankfully, but I'm going to use this wire on the piece I'm going to show you on this video. The wire is thinner than the one I was using and has a different behavior, so I'm going to have to work a bit on that, placing this wire, the Fowler wire, on the groove that I made. Anyway, the way I make the grooves and the design of the track, it's done. I'm going to show you that to you. This is kind of a demonstration video. I didn't go through all the process. I think it would be boring. Anyway, I have more track to make, and so eventually I can make another video with the whole process. I would invite you to leave a comment if you want to see that, and of course, by the way, I invite you to click the like button, eventually subscribe to my channel. This is a very simple thing, but I want to share what I'm doing. Hopefully help someone. Like I learned a lot on YouTube, and that's the idea, to give something back. So basically that's it. I'll make other videos even about the start set and putting it to work, and try to see if it runs on my previous made track, which I don't believe, but I'm going to try it anyway. I'll make another video on that, and then more Fowler system, more stuff in here. There's a lot of things happening here in my layout. It's a small layout, but a million things are happening. Here you can see the cliff that I've been working this week, and all these small houses here, my Portuguese style village I'm trying to build. So I think there's a lot of interesting stuff, and of course the Fowler system and some trains running like now. So that's it. So to build my tracks, I'm using 5mm plywood, and the advantage of working like this is that I can take this out of the layout, as you can see, and work on the table. Much easier than working directly on the layout. Now, as you can see already, some lines here, because I already tried to build some track, but I wasn't quite pleased, especially here, because it's too close to the border, the edge of the piece, and so I would have a road running around the scenery, and my idea is to get it more inside the scenery. So, but as you can see, so because this is an empty piece, an empty scenery, I don't have scenery, I can make designs and change it, because there's nothing here, it's all clean. I have a line here, as you can see, because this is the place where I'm going to put my houses, some of the buildings. I'm not going to make low relief buildings, because I already have the buildings made, so I'm going to take what I already have. So this is the only line that is limiting my design. All of the rest is empty, so I can work around here. So what I did, I made this first line, then I draw a 1 centimeter line along this one, and from that line I've calculated the car. Now, these are one HO scale cars, two cars. These are HO scale cars, a Land Rover and a Toyota. And this is a bigger car for transit. I think 176 scale or 172, I'm not sure, but much bigger car, as you can see. But this is what I used to match here, so I'm sure that the other ones can run here. So what I did basically, I have one line which is the edge for the car. This is going to be a one-way track, so narrow streets, small village, so narrow streets. The edge over there to match the car. This gives me 3 centimeters here. Was what I calculated from here to here to be the width of the road track itself, and then 1 more centimeter to give some room. Of course, one of these vehicles here has enough space. This allowed me, the initial track that I've designed was too far to the middle, so I was able to push the wire track a little more to that side, so it gives me more room on here. And so from that I draw a straight line. Here I did the same from the edge of the board. From the edge of the board I took 1 centimeter, and then from there I draw a parallel line, 1.5, and then another one which matches the previous line. And so here is the border of the buildings. The buildings can rest here. The car will run here. So basically what I did to make the curves very simple. So I have this line. I have the line here. I drew a parallel line which is 13 centimeters from that. As you can see, this is the distance. So this line, I drew this line parallel to this one, 13 centimeters distance. So what I did, I match the center of the curve with this line, along this line, and now I match it with this, the line is coming here. So it will be somewhere around here. So I take this line, and when I make the curve, it matches that line. Guys, slightly opened. So this is basically what allows me to draw my curves. Now, here, then I pushed it a little. I tried a bit with the scenery, the buildings, to see how it would get. Then here I did basically something similar. Here it's an entire curve, so I came, basically I touched it, I tried to make a 90-degree angle and see how, where would this go. It came around here somewhere. Let's say it will come here. Now I wanted to leave some room here, so I pushed the lines or the track. I have this curve here, which is was too close from the end of the. You don't see it here. This line was too close to the edge of the scenery. I wanted this to go more inside the scenery, so once again I have the main line here because this is going to be a loop. I came around here somewhere and I drew a curve. To match somewhere around there, 13 centimeter curve. And so I have a curve here, I have a curve here. Basically what I did was try to match both curves with the ruler. create a straight line where that touches both curves, like this. This gave me perfect connection here with the curve, and the perfect connection here with the curve. This is the line, and now in this case I did the opposite. I already have the line somewhere around where I want it after some messing around with the buildings, and so I did the opposite. I measured 1.5 centimeter to the side, and then 1 more centimeter to know where my scenery was going to be. The scenery can rest here, and the road bed, let's say, it will be somewhere around here. To this side the same thing, I have more than here. What I'm going to do, basically the same, 2.5. So this is the road itself, and this is the limit for the buildings. I'm going to do the same here. I know the car is enough room, and my buildings can go over here. Some wall or something, fence of a garden, something can be here. What I could have done here, if I already had this line, I didn't do that way. What I would do with exactly as I said in the other video, I would draw the parallel line 13 centimeters somewhere, and if you can see, it will match over there again. I would draw a parallel line here, parallel to this. Then I would search the other straight line. Let me show you. So I have 13 centimeters over here, let's say here. I have other 13 centimeters somewhere around here, right? So if I connect these two lines, let's say I know now that this is a curve. This will match because this is just one curve. If I come here somewhere and I match this line with the tip of this, somewhere around here, I'm matching this line here. When I come, I touch that line. What's the initial line? This is slightly open. Yeah, this is more than, he has a bit more than 13 centimeters. Now it fits. So I have a line and I want to match this line. I'm going to match the tip with the line and then the tip with a pencil to the line that I want to touch. Will be this one. And when I go there, I touch my first line. So I can go around here a little more. So basically this is a technique I have used to make my track here and on the other parts of the layout. Okay, so after my drawings were made to start making the groove, first thing I'm going to do, as you can see here already done, I'm going to highlight the line that I made, the final line, with a pen. This requires some patience, but basically it will allow me to start working. Now when I press the pen against the plywood, because it's a very thin plywood, now the advantage of working here is that I can do this. I can rotate my piece so that it makes me easier for me to put my hand in a position, the right position to make the lines. So as I was saying, when I press the pen against the wood, it will go slightly down, and then it creates already a small, very tiny, very smooth groove on the wood. That will help me. Let me do it here. So I can put my hand in a position in which I can draw the curved line the best way. If I was doing this over the layout, I probably could not be in a position to draw a perfect line, or as perfect as possible. Already grooving the wood. Okay, once this is done, I'm going to use this, a simple cutting tool. Then I'm going to cut over the line that I made. I'm going to do this very gently, very slowly. The wood is not totally a uniform piece. The wood has its own directions, and so when we are not working on the direction of the wood, there is some side pressure, so we gotta be very careful doing this. Of course, this would be easier with the machine, the Faller machine, but I can do it like this. It takes a little more time, but I'll get there. I'm cutting 90 degrees to the wood, and not in the direction of the wood. If you cannot see probably on camera, but the wood is like this. So here it will be easier to cut because I'm cutting along the wood, the veins of the wood. Okay, just for demonstration purpose. Once I do this, I will do it a couple of times. I have this pen, has a thin tip. It doesn't write anymore, but it doesn't matter. What I'm going to do, I'm going to push. I already cut the wood with that thing, and so the wood is weaker. And when I press it with this, it starts to build up the groove. I eventually do this a couple of times. Here I'm missing, but I'll have to cut deeper. I have to cut deeper, but no problem. Here it's going down. I'm going to pass one time. You can hear it, I think. The pen is going down the wood. And then eventually I'm using a hard pencil with a sharp tip. I'm going to run it. The pencil, the graphite on the pencil will then help me to run the pen or even the blade again in here. Once I push the pencil, it has graphite, and the graphite will now help me, this one, to go deeper. Oh, it's much easier now. You probably can notice what is happening here. See, the pen is already going down inside the wood. And if I put the pencil again, makes it softer. If necessary, I can push the blade again I already have some deep here. This is starting to go deeper. Of course, this requires some patience. So the tip here, I have to cut a little more. I'm already going inside the wood, like this. Here I have something I need to cut. I have a small cut. Then the pen widens up the cut that I made. With a pencil, I make a softer surface. And so this is how I build the grooves for the wire for my car system with simple tools. Takes a little more time, a little more practice, but it works. So this is it.